Well, my name is Scott Cohen. I'm the creator of the Life Cube project. I think it's a sleep deprivation experiment, truthfully. I've been back and forth to Las Vegas. The first trip I made was a year ago this month, and I've been here for a week to a month at a time. I was here the whole month of December, and I've been here since the beginning of January, and I'll be here through the end of March. So what is the Life Cube project? I went to Burning Man, which I guess seems to be a theme through a couple of things here. I went to Burning Man about 10 years ago, and I was really turned on by the art. And I came away with a million ideas, but I was too busy with other things. And as John Lennon says, life is what happens when you're planning, making other plans. Well, sooner or later, I just decided enough. And so 5 years ago, I sold my last business, and I decided to take my creativity and my energy and devote it to the art. And yes, I did it! It was so cool. So I started writing a play, and I started this thing called the Life Cube Project, and the play got half done, and the Life Cube Project just took off. And so the first installation, where is the clicker? Oh, you'll click it? Okay, click.
The Life Cube is an interactive.
Oh wait, that's no, that's a movie. No, stop. The PowerPoint thingy. We got that somewhere? Yes. Do you need it on a doggle? Hold it. Okay, we can solve this problem. Here, who knows this stuff? Okay, there's a PowerPoint on there. So if you can do that. So anyway, okay, so here's what I did. I went into the desert, and I took 3 people, and we built an 8 by 8 foot cube. And it was not very impressive. It was founded on an idea or a concept or a belief that I have, that if you write down your goals, dreams, wishes, and aspirations, that the probability of it happening increases significantly. And I've been doing this since I was a kid. And I grew up in a neighborhood that makes this look really like the suburbs. So, February or January or something. Oh, thanks. January, Life Cube, that'll work. Cool. All right, life has worked. Okay, you got it. Hey, let's go surfing. Okay, Life Cube project. Yes, I got a clicker. Do I know how this works? Wow, okay, so magic. So I went around, we built this cube. It's an 8 by 8 foot cube. It looks like a Microsoft display. It was really not that great. I got done with it, and I mean, it wasn't even up, and I'm looking at it going, God, I could have done so much better. We built it. It was 3 people, and we didn't even think about that previous slide. That's a wish stick. These are official Life Cube wish sticks that we passed out like this. Anyway, we passed them out, and friends showed up at like Robot Place and passed them out, Robot Heart, and we'd do it at sunrise, and we'd pass them out, and people would fill them out and put them inside in these slots. You see there and there, and that was a quote by John Lennon, which I happen to like, and there were quotes on each side, except that one side had an artist statement, which I never wanted, and thought that it was a dumb idea. But, you know, it did create an idea, and it did create a moment in people's lives. People wrote down, and they'd actually, if Instagram was around back then, they would have taken pictures of it, and you would have seen it all over the place. So we burned it, and that was kind of cool, and 100, if I stretch it, maybe 200 people showed up. But now I went back, okay? And so my second year as an artist, been going to Burning Man on and off for 10 years, second year as an artist, said, we're gonna go and build something really cool. So I came up with an idea. I'm going to go 16 by 16. So you guys are all really smart. I was saying that it was twice as big. How big is 16 by 16? 8 times, yes, thank you. It occurred to us about halfway through the planning process that this is 8 times as big. So this is the size of the first cube. We didn't put any words on it because we wanted to make sure that people realized that that was a representation of how big the first cube was compared to the second cube. Each side had a theme. One was happiness. And so this gives you a sense of how it all looked. You could climb up, and we added right boards. So we added some interactivity. And cool story about the right boards were the people wrote all over it. And then on Wednesday it poured. And it never rains in Black Rock City. I mean, almost never. It's rained twice, I think. But anyway, it got all washed off because I didn't do permanent markers. I did water-based markers. So I look at this, I'm like really sad. And then Wednesday, they were filling it all up again. And it was so cool. And we burned it, and that was now celebrated by about 1,000 people, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, 1,000 people in Burning Man coming to see my little thing was pretty neat. And then the beginning of this year, or beginning of last year, I get a call from an architect named Kevin Pillone. And Kevin said, I've heard about your project. I would like to meet you. I'd like to see if I can help. I've never been to Burning Man, but I'm going to go, and I don't need anything from you. So, okay. And I went to lunch with him. He didn't even let me pay for lunch. And he listened to me just talk for like 2 hours. And he asked a lot of good questions. And he said, if you can take what you've just said, and if you've got this all written down, which I did, and give it to me, and if you could put some sort of drawing together or building blocks, then I would be happy to help you. He said, I don't even need a ticket. I'm going to buy my own ticket and everything else. So he did. I made this out of building blocks that my daughter had. She's now 26, 25 years old, so it was a long time ago since she used them. And I sent them to him. And I sent him this list of all these ideas with pillars and decks and second levels and stairs. And he said, give me a couple weeks. Well, 4 days later, I start getting, at 2:30 in the morning, I know exactly when it was 2:30 in the morning. At 2:30 in the morning, I'm getting 3D video CAD drawings, and like, I'm sending you these things. I just haven't been able to stop working on your project. It's the most fun I've ever had. And so he starts sending, and we actually developed this whole plan. Well, this is what the project has become. This is my installation at, and I say my, it's our installation, I guess, because I've now got a lot of cubists that have become involved, both that have been a part at Burning Man and just supported the project because it's touched their soul. But the project has now incorporated a lot of different things. So you'll see here this mural, which when we finish here, I guess we're walking down in the rain. There is a mural that's being painted on the cube right now by that muralist. She showed up on a Sunday morning, the Sunday morning before the event opens, and said, I'm looking for a place to paint a tribute to my grandmother. So I had just been practicing yoga on the top corner, and I came down, and I was making biscuits and coffee, and I said, would you like some biscuits and coffee? And she said, no. And I said, well, yeah, maybe I'll take a biscuit. And I said, great. And I said, why don't you get off your bike? And I walked her around the cube. So to give you a sense, I mean, 24 feet higher than this, about the size, yeah, it's about the size of this room, maybe a little bigger. So we walked to the other side, and I show her that wall, and I said, how about this? And she says, can I have up to here? And I said, you can have the whole thing. She said, you don't understand, I'm a serious artist. I was paid to paint a truck, and they gave me tickets to Burning Man, and I've got a portfolio, and I've got my scaffolding and a generator and my lights. And I said, excuse me, what part of this didn't you understand? There's the wall. I hadn't decided what I was going to do with it yet. You came by, serendipity, go for it. So the next thing I know, she's coming and she's throwing a paint, and then, you know, she disappears, and she comes by every night and she continues to paint, and that's what she created, and it was fabulous. And then on top of that, we had these pillars that I decided to cover with photographs of old Burning Man, and so 9 major photographers donated their prints, high-resolution prints, to be able to be printed and put on them. And the right board stayed, and the right board grew to now 24 foot long and 8 foot high, and there were tons of people doing it. And then I had this idea constantly. You know, that bubble thing that you had with the, I do that, okay? So anyway, I had this idea. I don't sleep a lot, and you're surprised, right? So anyway, the thing was, I wanted this tapestry wall. I put out the word, send me a 2 by 2 foot canvas that has anything on it. It's your space in the universe. write on it, draw on it, just no branding, keep it positive, and I'm going to make this huge wall. And so 120 artists later, that's the wall. So for the cube in downtown Las Vegas, I've gone a little further. Instead of 2 by 2 foot canvases, I'm dealing with 1 by 1 foot canvases. So I'm now giving out over 500 canvases. If any of you are artists and would like to put your thoughts or drawings on paper, by all means take a canvas from us and bring it back, and it'll go up on this enormous wall that you will see. This is what the cube looks like at night. It will not look like this until February 21st. On February 21st, this is what will be in downtown Las Vegas. And then we will burn it on March 21st. It's been a wild and crazy ride. Talk about permits and licenses, way more. This is 10,000 people. That's what it's grown to at Burning Man. And what they're expecting at downtown Las Vegas is numbers that go anywhere from a few thousand to tens of thousands. So that's my story. I mean, it's been a huge amount of fun. So I think I've got, thank you. Thank you. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm so happy. If you'd like, I can show a 2-minute video. I still have time? Yes? Okay, so go ahead now, click to that video. The thing is, I'm not a advertising guy or
Beginning in
anything.
2011, we built the first Life Cube at Burning Man.
Wow, that was pretty good. You're going to speed it up in 30 seconds. I created this video using iMovie, which, by the way, it's a lot easier when my wife was with me, and we both struggled over the computer, but she was in New York, and I was here. So anyway, this was made with iMovie and a bunch of mostly photographs, and then just hit the play button thing there, yeah.
The Life Cube is an interactive and collaborative project that connects community and art. Beginning in 2011, we built the first Life Cube at Burning Man. We invited everyone to write down their wishes. We've added murals and created a tapestry wall from paintings collected from artists all around the world. And at the end of the festival, we burned it. And each year it gets bigger. I'm Scott Cohen, the creator of the Life Cube project. My dream is to bring together a community and build a cube in a major city. For people of all ages to write down their goals, dreams, wishes, and aspirations, and local artists to create fabulous art. Dreams do come true. This winter, we're doing something special in the heart of downtown Las Vegas, building a giant Life Cube on an entire city block. Come January, we will start building the Las Vegas Cube. In February, artists will cover it with murals and paintings. People are encouraged to fill it with goals and wishes, and local bands will come and play music. And then, on March 21st, we'll burn the cube in a fiery ceremony on Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas. Thousands of people's wishes will be released into the universe as the cube goes up in flames. In addition to all the stuff we need to build and burn the cube, we want to bring Life Cubes to local schools in the community to teach kids about goal setting. And artists need canvases and paint, scaffolding and supplies to create panels for the tapestry wall and vibrant murals on the cube. We need a little extra support to make our dreams come true. We're raising $15,000 to complete the funding. Whether it's $1 or $1,000, please consider a donation. Every little bit helps, and every donor gets a wish. Come, have fun, make history. Whether you're in Las Vegas or supporting the Life Cube from afar, we're glad to have you with us.
So, a couple things. First of all, I wrote down my wish 15 months ago to create a Life Cube installation in a city or museum around the world. And believe it or not, I'm a little goal-oriented. This is happening. I mean, despite everything, the idea has gotten bigger. I mean, it just doesn't stop. So Chris Fallon is right there, is actually managing a month worth of entertainment and an event, which I've never done. So he fell from the sky, and it's been amazing. And then we added, in addition to all the other stuff, it's like, and door number 3, we added, I got asked a couple months ago, what was I going to do for schools and students and youth of the community? And you now tug at my heart because I grew up in a inner city school originally. And so I said, I'll speak to every school that wants to have me, and we'll build satellite cubes and give them away. And I'm going to do that to businesses anyway. I mean, my idea was I'll have one at like the Beat, and one at Eat, and one at the Thai restaurant, and one at Atomic Liquors. And we'll just have people wandering around looking at these smaller cubes. Well, then we expanded it to schools. And does anyone know how many schools are in Las Vegas? I'll answer the question, 300. So we're not giving 300, we're giving, I think, 50, but it's growing, and I've been running myself ragged. I'm speaking at schools pretty much every day. I spoke this morning to 4th and 5th graders, which are the greatest audience. You guys are much harder than the kindergartners. The high school students a little jaded, but I'm speaking to anybody that'll listen. My mission is twofold. Okay, one, write down what you want to accomplish in your life. I do believe it works, and I've gotten to accomplish things that I could never have imagined. So I do believe it works, and that's my first mission: get people to write them down, drop them in the cube if you want, but it's the beginning of a process. And 2, involve as many people in the community as possible. And I don't care if you take pictures, or you come and swing a hammer, or you manage the whole event, or whatever you need to do, come down, help, because there are so many things. I mean, this is a community, and I am ecstatic to be building in downtown Las Vegas. Thank you.